Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Daryl Brewer. I'm the Economic Development Manager here at the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, and I want to welcome you to another Thursday webinar. And we're coming from the Business Assistance Center at 1150 South Freeway at the corner of I-35W and East Rosedale. First, I want to go to Ms. Andrea Duffy. She's with the City of Fort Worth, and I want to bring her on because she has some important information that she has for you. Andrea, you there?
I am here, Daryl. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. So I wanted to touch base with everyone. As many of you know, earlier this year, due to the COVID pandemic, we launched the Preserve the Fort Small Business Grants. And I'm going to share my screen real quick. So through the Preserve the Fort Small Business Grants, we were able to distribute $54.9 million to Fort Worth's small business community, which really helped them get through the shutdown and everything associated with the pandemic. However, now it is time for the compliance portion of the Preserve the Fort grants. We're trying to reach out to all of the businesses that received grants and get some documentation from them and some confirmation about how they spent their funds. As many of you probably remember, part of the grant qualifications were you needed to spend the money on certain eligible expenses, including working capital, machinery and equipment, payroll or healthcare benefits, contract labor, supplier payments, rent, lease, or mortgage payments, utility payments, critical business operation, and PPE supplies. What we have basically asked, we have sent out an email to all of the business owners who received grants on Tuesday, and they are going to be logging in to the grant portal, and they're going to be filling everything out for the compliance report, listing how much money was spent in all of these eligible categories, and also providing documentation in the form of receipts, in the form of payroll, in the form of bank statements or canceled checks to just, quantify how much was spent and in what categories. And this is really important because when the federal government comes to the city of Fort Worth to make sure that all of the CARES Act funding was spent for these eligible expenses, we need to be able to hand over this documentation and say yes. So all of the business owners have until Friday, June 11th to submit their compliance reports. We've been telling them all along that they need to document their expenses. And if they need help, if they have questions, if they need instructions for how to complete this compliance report, all of that is available online. They can email us here in the Economic Development Department at ptfcompliance@fortworthtexas.gov. We also have can send them to the Preserve the Fort page. There is a PDF here that shows compliance instructions, and it's literally a step-by-step guide on how to fill out their report. So we've really been trying to provide them with as much information as possible to help them complete this report. So I appreciate all of you guys spreading the word and listening to me give this presentation on it.
Well, Andrea, thank you for providing it for us because it's very important, obviously, for our businesses to go ahead and take care of their business as it relates to, look, y'all, don't want nobody to go to jail. Andrea can't say she worked for the city.
I mean, we don't either. We just need to know that, somebody didn't go buy a new car with their Preserve the Fort funds.
That's why people go in jail. So hopefully you didn't do such a thing. And it's just minor bookkeeping. If you have some challenges with bookkeeping, we have some people here who can help you with that. Email me at dbrewer@FWMBCC and can help you with that task. All right, Andrew, anything else we need to know?
No, sir, I think we're good to go. Again, I appreciate you having me.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And now I'm going to bring on the legend, Bob Ray Sanders, and he's going to give us some announcements for today.
All right, thank you, Daryl. I want to remind everybody that the chamber will be having its annual luncheon this year. It'll be a little different than before because it'll be mostly virtual. There'll be a few in-person seats available, which will be mostly for our sponsors because we only have 150 seats, practicing social distancing and all of that. But it will be June 25th at noon, but we urge you to join us virtually and you'll be getting more information on that on our website, also on our Facebook pages and other social media platforms. I want to remind you that Dr. Case L. Wall, who's one of the richest Black men in America, and a person who owns the only Black-owned bank in Texas and Georgia, will be speaking on the topic, banking relationships in times like these. So you'll want to hear him. As I said, check out our Facebook page, our website, and you'll get more information on how to join us for that occasion. Also, on the third Tuesday of each month at 7 o'clock, we have the Next Level Entrepreneur School. And this is a 2-hour interactive workshop with learning skills in marketing, digital marketing, accounting, bookkeeping, income, profit and loss statements, whole bunch of things you need to know when you're running a business or starting a business. So that's the third Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Also, on the second Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. from 7 to 9, we have our Let's Get Together networking event. And this is really an opportunity for you to interact with other people, get to know people who may be doing businesses like yours or are very different, the people that you ought to know. This event is also on our Facebook page and our website. A couple of announcements that you just need to know generally. The city of Fort Worth is expanding its Wi-Fi into 5 neighborhoods. That's Ash Crescent, Como, Northside, Rosemont, and Stop 6 neighborhoods. We know these have been internet deserts, so to speak. And what the city is doing now is making sure that people in those communities will have access to Wi-Fi. Know that if you have any questions, feel free to contact the city of Fort Worth on that. And also for those of you who may have been drawing unemployment and getting an extra help from the federal government, Texas and several other states have decided they're going to end that program early. That program was supposed to go until September, where you get an extra $300 a month in addition to the state unemployment benefits. Well, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has decided to end that program next month. The extra $300 federal grant will end on June 26th for all jobless Texans. So get prepared for that. So we basically have one more month to draw that weekly $300 check. And Gerald, that's it.
All right, Bob Ray, we thank you for giving us that information, but it's important. And just a note on the money, the unemployment money, that is the amount that is going to be cut. So if you're receiving state unemployment, you will continue to receive that. But the $300, I think it's $300 per federal unemployment due to the pandemic will be cut because the governor is not accepting that money from the federal government. So just a note there. All right. Well, now we are up to our major portion of the economic development today. And we have, by the way, we have a little bit of technical difficulty with the internet, but so hopefully you guys won't experience very much of it, but we're going to hold on and fight through it. But we have Derenda Fisher. She is in lender relations, and she's the lender relations specialist and with the Small Business Administration in the Dallas-Fort Worth District Office. So what I'm going to do, because of our technical difficulties, I'm going to bring Derenda up, and I'm going to allow her to talk in just a minute so we can get past that. She may be wanting to share a screen, etc. So give me a hot second. Okay, Derenda, are you there?
I am here. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine. Go ahead.
All right, good deal. Well, thank you, Daryl, for this wonderful opportunity, and good afternoon, everyone. Again, as Daryl mentioned, my name is Derenda Fisher. I'm an SBA Lender Relations Specialist for the SBA Dallas-Fort Worth District Office. I want to thank you for attending this presentation of SBA's Surety Bond Guarantee Program. Small businesses are a critical part of the U.S. economy. They account for nearly half of the jobs in the private workforce and for over 40% of private payroll. The U.S. Small Business Administration, or SBA, was created in 1953 and offers a variety of products and services on a non-discriminatory basis to help small businesses. One program we offer is the SBA Surety Bond Guarantee Program. The SBA Surety Bond Guarantee Program has your back. We've been opening doors for bonding for over 50 years. Small businesses in construction and other industries must often obtain contract surety bonds to qualify for contracts in the private sector and for government contracts at the federal, state, or city level. But sometimes your business may be too new or have credit issues or may not have the assets necessary to qualify for contract bonding. These are instances where the Surety Bond Guarantee Program can come into play. We help small businesses facing barriers to success by creating access and opportunity to qualify for contract bonding, increase bonding capacity, and therefore grow your business. The Office of Surety Guarantees works with surety agents and companies nationwide to help small businesses access the bid, performance, payment, and ancillary bonds. We do this by guaranteeing 80 to 90% of the bond's contract value lost to the surety company in the event of default. So what does this mean for you as a small contractor? Our guarantee enables surety companies to bond small businesses that might not otherwise qualify. The first step for accessing SBA's Surety Bond Guarantee Program is by visiting our website, which is located at sba.gov/OSG. There you will find a list of surety agents you can contract with to underwrite your SBA surety bond. If you work with an agent who participates in the Surety Bond Guarantee Program, you have a chance to grow your business by competing for more and larger contracts, and you can increase your bonding capacity and also your business opportunities. SBA guarantees over $7 billion a year in contract bonds, and last year in FY20, we helped over 1,800 businesses obtain contract bonds. Sureties authorized to offer SBA guarantee bonds will evaluate your company based on your capacity, your capital, and your credit. Capacity is actually your ability to complete the work. And so they're going to look at your experience in the field, your key personnel, and your day-to-day business management practices. Capital is the company's profitability and the quality of your financial statements. And finally, character includes the small business owner's personal credit history plus their business reputation. If your business is having trouble obtaining bonding or is posting collateral or paying for funds control, an SBA guarantee bond could be the answer. Our working capital requirement is about half what is typically required for contract surety bonds, and we count the unused portion of open bank lines of credit as working capital to help you increase your bonding limit. As you can see by this example, while the traditional surety market provides bonding for about 10 times the amount of your working capital, through the Surety Bond Guarantee Program, you may be eligible for up to 20 times the amount of working capital. That's twice as much potential bonding capacity with SBA bond guarantee. And your available bank line of credit counts towards your total working capital. Also, we can guarantee bonds without requiring CPA prepared financial statements. So SBA bond guarantees are available for larger projects, even if you have internal financial statements. The financial statement requirement is based upon the size of the job. For example, SBA does accept in-house business financial statements for contracts up to $2 million. Vera Hall, owner of Innovative Performance Construction, knows firsthand how SBA Guarantee can help small businesses grow. Vera says the ability to get this type of bonding through this SBA Surety Bond Guarantee Program allows a small business owner to realistically compete with larger corporations for contracts that you want and need to grow your business. The Surety Bond Guarantee Program is fast and user-friendly. We've been around for over 50 years, and our technology is up to date. The application process is completely online, and our staff is experienced, professional, and they don't waste your time. They get right on the subject. Our prior approval program delivers underwriting decisions in about 2 days and includes the Quick App Streamline option that gives you a decision within 24 hours on bonds of $400,000 or less. Your surety company may have its own qualifications for the Quick App, which could include credit minimums. And if you do apply for a bond guarantee through the Quick App, your business cannot have any previous defaults or bond claims. The Surety Bond Guarantee Program guarantees a variety of bond types and amounts. As a small business, you can get a bid, performance, payment, or ancillary bond. For government and private sector contracts, up to $6.5 million. For direct federal contracts, the limit is $10 million. To qualify for the Surety Bond Guarantee Program, your business must be small by SBA's definition. This is based upon the average annual revenues over the last 5 years for construction, service, or supply firms, and for manufacturers, it's based upon the average number of employees. Your business and all owners must also be current on public debt, taxes, and repayment agreements, and must pass underwriting standards set by the surety and by SBA. So those are the basic parameters of the Surety Bond Guarantee Program. So now let's look at some additional details. Other requirements address business practices. For example, you must possess good character and need a bond that you're unable to obtain otherwise on reasonable terms. Your company must be a U.S.-based, for-profit business with legal resident owners. You must be eligible to do business with the federal government and not currently involved in any bankruptcy proceedings. There are some costs associated with the program. The SBA doesn't charge a fee for the bid bond guarantees. However, for performance, payment, and ancillary bond guarantees, there is a contractor's fee of 0.6% of the contract amount that you as a small business owner must pay to SBA. Additionally, there is a surety premium fee that's paid directly to the surety company, and typically that's 1 to 3%. Small businesses have access to the Surety Bond Guarantee Program area offices for assistance and support. And you can contact them at the contact Office of Surety Guarantees if you have any questions. The underwriting marketing specialist for our area is Tamara Murray. For specific underwriting questions, please reach out directly to Tamara. She can be reached at area code 303-927-3479. Again, 303-927-3479, or by email at tamara.murray@sba.gov. That's tamara.murray@sba.gov. Our network of trusted surety agents will tell you that this is a no-hassle program that gives small business owners the opportunity to get into bonding so they can bid on larger contracts and also bid as a contractor rather than having to bid as a subcontractor using the GC as the primary. So it gives them the opportunity to bid on their own. I hope you'll consider working with an agent who offers the Surety Bond Guarantee Program. I know it can help your company to thrive and to grow. Again, please visit, and this is the step to get started, visit sba.gov/OSG for the list of our participating surety agents. Before I answer your questions, I'd like to share some comments about the program with one of our surety agents that we partner with, Mike Williams of CCI Surety. Mike says, small businesses struggle to get enough money to level the playing field with bigger contractors. With the SBA Surety Bond Guarantee Program, we're able to help them compete for bigger contracts, write much larger bonds without CPA audit, and issue smaller bonds with even fewer hurdles. And I do have a one-page fact sheet that I would be glad to email to anybody. And here is my contact information, derenda.fisher@sba.gov is the best way to get a hold of me. And I'm glad to send out that one sheet flyer to anybody that's interested. And it kind of does a summary recap of everything I mentioned here this afternoon. So thank you. And now I'd like to turn it over to Daryl if anybody has any questions.
All right, Derenda, that was excellent. And it was, much needed information and rather surprising. I mean, just from the standpoint of the SBA providing this service for such a long time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the questioning over to Barbara Sanders. And just want to remind the audience, if you have questions and you're within the Zoom, go ahead and type your questions into the Q&A or into the chat. And those questions will be read aloud and Derenda can answer them. And if you're in Zoom world, in Facebook land, you can go ahead and type your question into the comment section there, and we will read your questions aloud for Derenda to answer. So with that, I'm gonna hand it over to the legend, Bob Ray.
All right, thank you, Daryl, and thank you, Derenda. I really appreciate that.
Unmute yourself, Bob Ray.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
I was wondering how many small businesses actually get bonding through this method, through the SBA.
Last year, we had 1,800 small businesses that got bonded, contract bonding.
1,800?
Uh-huh.
And do you know how many would have applied for it and got denied? I'm just wondering how difficult it is.
I'd have to do some actual research to drill down to get that information, but I should be able to get it for you.
Okay. And you mentioned about bankruptcy. I mean, you can get it if you've had a recent bankruptcy. How?
On that, if you're currently involved in a bankruptcy proceeding, you're not going to be eligible, but you can have a past bankruptcy, and as long as you reestablish credit after that, you could still be eligible.
Okay, so there's not a limit on the number of years that's between
Correct.
The last bankruptcy.
Correct.
Okay.
You need to have a good explanation about what happened that led into the bankruptcy, and then reestablish credit thereafter.
Well, for the small businesses that we work with, I mean, bonding has always been a major obstacle, and I'm just wondering. I mean, you're reaching out here. I'm just wondering how many people know about this program. And how do you get the word out?
It's a best kept secret, one of the SBA's best kept secrets, and we really need to do more marketing on. We've got Tamara Murray does a good job at marketing the program, but she does it on a regional basis. And so part of my goal, because I'm the subject matter expert for our office, is to do more local outreach. And so that's my overall goal for this, this coming year. Our new fiscal year starts October 1, but I do want to get out there and market the program more often. And because right now, although a lot of the government initiatives that are going on as far as like infrastructure rebuild, everything that, that the current administration is proposing, I foresee there's going to be a much greater need going forward to get these small contractors out there and aware of the program, and so they can get assistance to get these projects completed.
And with that in mind, when I look at your map, I mean, those regions are very large regions. I'm just wondering, do you have enough staff to deal with the request even?
And they do a great job in their turn times, and because of the expedited processing, everything's done electronically. I actually many years ago used to work in that department. And at that point, it was all paper intensive. We used carbon copies of everything rather than doing everything electronically. but we still had very dedicated times in which we had to get the applications processed and out. So now with the electronic, ability to do everything electronically, they really do a great job and really do hit the turn times that they've indicated.
And you said that you have a synopsis of what you just told us today, that
Yes,
on
sir.
a one page that people can get. And do they get that by calling you or emailing you, or they get that from somebody else?
I've actually given Daryl, I emailed Daryl Brewer a copy of that this morning. He has it, and I also have it. So either one of us can send that out.
Okay, and Daryl's contact email is dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. Let me just check to see if we have any on Facebook here. One question is, how long does the business have to have a certain length of time in being in business before they can apply to be eligible for the surety bonds?
No, and that's actually one of the reasons why that they should want to use the program, is because new businesses do qualify.
Okay, so you can be a brand new business and qualify for these bonds.
Yeah.
With all the other exceptions. And I know it's one of the first things you mentioned when you talked about qualifications, good character. Now, how do people determine whether you've got good character? Does somebody else determine that for you, or do you just say, hey, I got good character?
They do want to look at your personal credit history because that's part of it. But additionally, they want to make sure that, if you had an arrest record, you need to explain that. And because the bottom line is, you need to be able to complete the work and for the contract. But if you were on probation or parole, you probably would not be eligible because, you ultimately could have to go, be incarcerated. So there are, eligibility rules as far as, prior arrest records that SBA also looks at. Make sure that you've got the ability to perform the work and do the job and not have to, go to jail.
And as I said, that's been one of the main problems that our small businesses have had. And sometimes we just wonder, is it more difficult for minority businesses to get these bonds than businesses that are not minority, than majority-owned businesses? Or does it matter?
It does not matter. The program's set up to do that. All the SBA programs are offered on a non-discriminatory basis. And so it should not be harder for minorities to get involved in the Surety Bond program or the SBA loan program.
Okay. Well, sounds good. Well, Darren, those are the only questions I have. Daryl? Oh, you can't hear, can you? Yeah.
Daryl, can you hear me? Bob is trying to turn it back over to you.
I forgot your headphones are doing two different things today. I forgot. Yeah, those are the questions that I have, sir. And I see some people thanking us for this. Well, I see one other. Let's see. No, that's it. I think she's already answered the other one.
Okay. Well, I didn't really have very many questions. I was back here doing the technical stuff. The contacts, can you provide us the contact information for some of your trusted agents here in the area who are very familiar with this program?
Yes, and if anybody that's interested, if they'll email me, I'll send you a list of authorized agents. I've got that list. And then Daryl, I'll also send that separate list to you as well, so you'll have it.
Okay, that's great, because I would imagine that everybody is not approved to do this.
Correct. They do have to make applications to the approved surety company with SBA, but there is a very lengthy list. And so it's broken out by state. And so it's a pretty user-friendly list too. So the applicants, it's easy for them to use.
What do you think some of the barriers have been to businesses getting involved with this program?
Well, I think it's Bob already mentioned, it's creating awareness of the program itself. Because without it, there are restrictions, because a lot of surety companies just don't want to offer bonding, contract bonding to startup businesses, or if you don't have immaculate credit, or if you've had a glitch in the past, and even though it's explainable, they may not want to offer it, or it's just maybe a different kind of company that they haven't had experience with. But having that 80 to 90% SBA guarantee for that bond is a way that those surety companies can truly stretch their credit criteria to allow the bonding for those small business applicants and subcontractors and contractors.
Very good. I don't know if you can do this at the same time, but someone was asking for your email in the chat.
Yes.
And that would be great. And also, for everybody who's watching this, we're on Facebook Live, so you can go and review this video at any time, and you'll be able to see her information sheet as well.
And she did mention the Tamara Murray, her phone number and her email address, which is on one of those slides, and I assume is on that information that's on the one page.
Here it is again.
Okay.
Bob Ray, so we're going to have to, just if you're on Facebook, just know that I've reviewed this from time to time, and I will put the information in that you request. If you have any questions about things that you need, I will add it to the Facebook post. So check back, and from time to time, we'll make sure we get that in there. By the way, if you have additional questions, you can always email me at dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. That's DBREWER@fwmbcc.org. And we will provide whatever information that you might need regarding this. All right, Bob Ray, any other questions?
No, I think that's it, Daryl.
Well, look, we need some more questions from the audience. We're getting through way too fast, which is not the case normally. But,
No, but that's fine. I mean, but she just did a great presentation. So
Well,
she
thank
answered
you.
that question they didn't know. I mean, it was really good. Well demonstrated. So it's there, I think, for people to see. It'll be on Facebook. So anybody who wants to go back through it who didn't get everything, but it came through loud and clear to me.
well, awesome. Well, Derenda, we thank you for taking out the time to give us this great presentation. And I don't know, I saw it. I don't know if I saw it on Facebook, wherever I saw it, maybe an email, whatever. And I was glad I was able to reach out to you, and you've been so gracious in providing your time and getting on with us so quickly.
It's very much my pleasure. And Lee, thank you for the opportunity.
All right, with that, I'm gonna hand it back over to the legend, and he's gonna give us some, go ahead with our announcements again.
Okay, well, thanks again, Derenda. All right, just briefly going through the announcements again. June 25th, put that on your calendar, the Chamber's 40th annual luncheon, which is usually our biggest fundraiser. Of course, this time it's going to be mostly virtual, so set your calendar for noon on that Friday, June 25th, and you'll be getting information on how you will be able to tune in to that luncheon featuring Dr. Case L. Lawal, one of the very important businessmen in America. He's in banking, oil imports, engineering, and also chairman of Unity Bank, the only Black-owned national bank in Texas and Georgia. He'll be speaking on banking relationships in times like these. And these are some incredible times. But most banks are doing pretty well from what I can tell. So we'll be interested to know what he has to say. And the Chamber's put a real emphasis on banking and getting to know bankers in our community. We've had several meetings with bankers, and we've sent out special invitations to bankers to attend this luncheon, either virtually or in person with us. Also, a reminder that on the third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m., we have the next level entrepreneur school. It is a 2-hour interactive workshop with learning skills in marketing and everything else you need to know about business or starting a business. That's the second or the third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. On the second Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. is our virtual networking event, Let's Get Connected. And we're hoping now, as things ease up, that we'll be able to do that in person, perhaps out on a restaurant patio or whatever. So hopefully next month, we would be able to tell you, hey, come actually meet us in person as opposed to just doing it virtually. Again, a reminder that the city of Fort Worth is expanding Wi-Fi into 5 neighborhoods that don't have adequate Wi-Fi. And so the city is going to do that in the neighborhoods of Ash Crescent, Como, North Side, Rosemont, and Stop 6 neighborhoods. And as we said earlier, unemployment benefits, or federal unemployment benefits, that's the extra $300 a month in addition to the state money, will end next month. Greg Abbott, along with several governors in other states, have decided that they're no longer going to accept that money from the federal government, so you won't be getting that. Officially in Texas, it will end on June 26th. So just make preparations for that. And as we had an announcement earlier from somebody from the city of Fort Worth Business Center, the compliance portion of our Preserve the Fort business grant initiative. I mean, a lot of millions of dollars went out to area small businesses in grant forms during the pandemic. Preserve the Fort will now come to compliance part of that. And that means that all the businesses that got grants need to make a reckoning on what they got. They'll need to log on to Preserve the Fort portal and complete their compliance report, which asks for details on their grant funds, how those funds were spent. They also will be asked for documentation, receipts, and that kind of thing. Detailed instructions on how to complete the compliance report were sent to grant recipients via email on Tuesday, May 18th, but it's also available online. And the compliance reports are due from all those businesses that receive grants by Friday, June 11th. So don't get caught by the government and you're not having complied with the compliance part of this grant program. And Daryl, that's it, sir.
All right, Bob Ray. And folks, really, it's not that big a deal. The compliance aspect of it. If you use the money as it was designed to pay for your light bill, your water bill, your rent, those types of things, if you used it to pay for staff, which that staff might include you as a business owner, you're good to go. Now, if you took it and went on a trip to Rome, I'm telling you, that might be a challenge. So if you don't have a CPA, and if you're challenged with just doing the paperwork and feeling comfortable with that, you can email me at dbrewer@FWMBCC.org, and we will connect you with some folks to try to help you through the process. We can't help if you've done some shady stuff, but if you just not feeling comfortable with doing the paperwork, that's what we're here for. Again, we're coming from 1150 South Freeway, the Business Assistance Center, owned by the city of Fort Worth. We have a number of organizations here to help out small businesses. Not only the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, but we have the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association here, SCORE, Tarrant Small Business Development Center, and 3 agencies that can lend you money, okay, that are not banks. So they're CDFIs, Community Development Funding Institutions. So they are here to lend in places that other institutions may not lend. So, and I know there's money available somewhere from like, $5,000 up to $12 million. Now, folks, you still got to qualify. Ain't nobody just giving away money. Okay, so let's be realistic. So you have to apply, you have to have a legitimate business, those types of things. Okay, so we're here to help you in that aspect in any way that we can, but let's be, real. And I think that's all I have, Bob Ray. We have any other questions? Anything popped up since we've been here? I don't see anything in the chat or the Q&A.
Yeah, nothing else on comments on Facebook that I see.
Well, all right. We're going to get out here a little early today.
Yeah, that's good. Enjoy your lunch.
We thank you for joining us this week, and we hope you'll join us again next Thursday on your lunch period from noon to 1-ish on Facebook and on Zoom. And with that, we'll see you next week. God to say the same. Bye now.